Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like up. Bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest Brooke Logan sees Taylor Hayes' broken heart syndrome as a ploy but treads lightly with those thoughts on the CBS soap this week. Ridge Forrester is all wrapped up in his ex's diagnosis, with plans of supporting Taylor through her treatment. But it looks like this rubs Brooke the wrong way. Bold and the Beautiful had Brooke Logan, Katherine Kelly Lang, walk in on a conversation that left her asking questions. Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, and Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, discussed Taylor's health scare, which she insists remains private. But Brooke likely won't back down after hearing the tail end of their chat. So she is probably the first to know outside of Ridge and Lie that Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, suffers from a potentially deadly heartbreak. However, it looks like Brooke has a hard time when she learns that Ridge is the foundation of this ailment. B&B set the stage for Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes to soon get back to being rivals with this diagnosis. At first, it looked like they were shooting for a friendship. Both women voiced their willingness to bury the past and work on becoming friends. But Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, filled Brooke's head with visions of Ridge and Taylor during her recent visit with him. So, once she learns how Taylor's love for Ridge is killing her, things could change drastically. Bold and the Beautiful could have Brooke Logan go either way on this. It's likely she doesn't buy into this at first, but she might support her rival once learning of this legitimate diagnosis. But that likely entails more than she's willing to give. Once Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McSinswood, learns about her mom's sickness, she'll jump all over Ridge to leave Brooke and be with Taylor. So this could start another chapter of Logan versus Forrester families. Bold and the Beautiful has Taylor Hayes embarrassed by this broken heart syndrome diagnosis. But that doesn't mean she won't change her mind if she sees this as a potential ticket back to Ridge. B&B fans saw what watching a kiss between Ridge and Brooke did to Taylor. She keeled over. So to say that she's got it bad for Ridge is likely an understatement. The soap can take this in either direction. Brooke could shock everyone and step aside for Taylor to receive her cure, Ridge. But while that might offer an episode or two of shock value, it would get old quickly. Still, pitting these two women against each other, well, that has been done way too many times. So there's no telling just where Bold and the Beautiful takes the next round of Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan. But the spoilers hint Brooke Logan treads lightly when first hearing the news about Taylor's broken heart syndrome. She may first think it's a ploy to get Ridge away from her. But while it's not, it could turn out that way once Taylor Hayes sees the options this sickness opens up for her with the love of her life on the CBS soap. The soft California sun spilled through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Forrester Creations, illuminating the tension that hung between Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes like a storm cloud waiting to burst. Brooke stood at the edge of the design office, her arms crossed tightly over her chest. She wore a tailored ivory blazer, her golden hair cascading over her shoulders like a veil of innocence, but her eyes betrayed her. They were watchful, calculating, careful not to betray too much. She wasn't sure how to start this conversation, or even if it was her place to do so. But silence in the Logan world was never an option for long. Taylor was seated on the plush white couch, leafing through mock-ups from a recent photo shoot. She looked composed, but Brooke had known her long enough to see the cracks behind the clinical calm. The way her fingers trembled slightly as she turned each page, the way she seemed to lose her place mid-sentence in meetings, the way she smiled too hard. The diagnosis was still fresh. Word had traveled, as it always did in LA, fast, half-true, and dangerously distorted. Brooke wasn't even sure what the full truth was, but she knew something was wrong with Taylor, and she couldn't ignore it anymore. Brooke offered a too bright smile. Both, maybe? I mean, we've been through enough to at least pretend to care about each other, haven't we? Brooke continued, her voice softer now. Look, I heard something about you, and I just want to know if it's true. There it was. The sentence she had rehearsed 100 times in her mind, finally released into the air like a dandelion seed on the wind. Fragile, drifting, dangerous. Taylor sat still, her posture so straight it looked painful. You heard something, she repeated. From who? Taylor exhaled slowly, closing her eyes for a moment. When she opened them again, her mask had shifted. The warmth was gone, replaced by something colder, something clinical. You want to know if the rumors are true. If Dr. Taylor Hayes, the psychiatrist, the mother, the paragon of strength, has a mental health diagnosis of her own. Taylor stood, cutting her off with the suddenness of her movement. You think I'm unstable, don't you? That I shouldn't be working. That I'm a threat to my own children. Taylor moved to the window, her back turned. It's what everyone thinks. I've spent my entire life helping others navigate the darkness. But the second I admit I have my own, they look at me differently, like I'm broken. Taylor let out a bitter laugh. Human? Brooke, I have spent years being scrutinized by you, judged, battled, and now you want to play the role of the concerned friend. Brooke swallowed the lump in her throat. This wasn't going as she'd hoped, but she pressed on. I've judged you, yes, but I've also respected you. Even when we were fighting over Ridge, even when I hated you, I respected your mind, your strength, your ability to carry so much, but nobody can carry everything forever. I was diagnosed with complex PTSD, she said finally, and depression. I've been in therapy. I'm on medication. Some days are better than others. Brooke exhaled, because I've been where you are, maybe not the same diagnosis. But I've been on the edge. I've fallen, and I had people who helped me, and I want to be that for you, if you'll let me. The room was quiet, save for the muted hum of traffic outside. The silence between them was no longer sharp. It was healing, soft, tentative. Brooke smiled, wryly. Then let's start with honesty. No more pretending. No more tiptoeing. Just honesty. In that small gesture, the years of rivalry and resentment between them didn't disappear, but they shifted. From a wall to a bridge. Worn, shaky, but real. Outside the world spun on, glittering and superficial, with fashion shows, power plays, and twisted love triangles. But in that small corner of Forrester Creations, two women who had spent their lives tearing each other down had taken the first uncertain steps towards something entirely unexpected, understanding.